What if I told you that one of the richest people on earth still uses coupons at McDonald's? That he drives an old car that most people wouldn't even want? And that he lives in the same house he bought over 60 years ago for less than what most people spend on a new car today? Sounds crazy, right? Well, that person exists. His name is Warren Buffett. He's worth over $158 billion, but he lives like your next door neighbor. And here's the crazy part, this isn't some publicity stunt. He's been living this way his entire life, even before he became super rich. But why? Why would someone with enough money to buy entire countries choose to live so simply? The answer might surprise you, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why Warren Buffett's lifestyle choices have actually made him richer. For those who don't know, Warren Buffett is basically the king of investing. Born in 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska, he started his journey to wealth when he was just a kid. At age 11, he bought his first stock. By 13, he was already filing tax returns and making money from his paper route. Even as a teenager, he was already thinking differently about money. While other kids were spending their allowance, young Warren was saving and investing. He bought a pinball machine and put it in a barber shop. That one machine made him enough money to buy more machines. Today, he runs Berkshire Hathaway, one of the biggest companies in the world. He's often called the Oracle of Omaha because his investment advice is pure gold. People hang on his every word, but despite all this success and wealth, he's remained the same humble guy from Nebraska. And that's where our story gets really interesting. Picture this, it's 1958. A young Warren Buffett, not yet the billionaire we know today, is house hunting in Omaha. He finds a nice, simple house in a middle-class neighborhood. The price is $31,500. That's about $270,000 in today's money. Not exactly cheap, but not mansion territory either. He buys the house, and guess what? He still lives there today. The same house, over 60 years later. Now, let me put this in perspective. Warren Buffett could literally buy the entire neighborhood. He could even buy the entire city of Omaha if he wanted to, but he chooses to stay in his modest 5-bedroom house on Farnham Street. The house isn't fancy. It's not gated. There's no army of security guards. It's just a regular house on a regular street. His neighbors include teachers, small business owners, and retirees. They wave to him when they see him, and he waves back. People often ask him why he doesn't move to a mansion. His answer is simple. I'm happy here. He says the house has everything he needs. It has a kitchen, bedrooms, and places to sit and think. What more could he want? But here's the thing that blows my mind. The house has actually become more valuable over the years, not because he renovated it into some palace, but simply because it's Warren Buffett's house. People drive by just to see where the billionaire lives. They're probably surprised by how normal it looks. Warren Buffett's spending habits are legendary, and by legendary, I mean legendarily cheap, but not in a bad way, in a smart way that has helped him build his fortune. Let's start with his car situation. For years, Buffett drove the same 2006 Cadillac DTS. He finally got a new car in 2014, another Cadillac. You know what? He only upgraded because his daughter convinced him the old one was getting unsafe. The man had to be talked into buying a new car by his own family. And it's not like he bought some super expensive luxury car. He went with a practical, reliable vehicle. Then there's his food habits. Warren Buffett eats like a college student on a budget. His breakfast? Usually McDonald's. And yes, he actually uses coupons. The richest guy in Nebraska uses McDonald's coupons. He's been spotted ordering the $3.17 sausage McMuffin deal. He once said he never pays more than $3.17 for breakfast because he's not feeling particularly prosperous. This is a guy worth over $150 billion talking about not feeling prosperous enough for a $4 breakfast sandwich. For lunch, he often eats at the same local restaurants he's been going to for decades. Nothing fancy, just good, simple food. He's famous for loving cherry Coke. He drinks about 5 cans a day. Berkshire Hathaway actually owns a big chunk of Coca-Cola stock, so at least he's drinking his own investments. His shopping habits are equally modest. He doesn't have a personal shopper or spend thousands on designer clothes. He wears suits, but they're not crazy expensive. He gets his hair cut at the same place he's been going to for years. The afternoon continues with more reading and thinking. He spends a lot of time just thinking about potential investments. He'll read about companies, think about their future, and decide whether they're worth buying. He usually leaves the office around 5:30 p.m. No crazy 12-hour workdays. He heads home to his regular house, where he might watch TV, read more, or spend time with his family. Evenings are often spent playing bridge online or watching sports. He's been playing bridge for decades and is actually really good at it. He plays with friends online regularly. Warren Buffett's relationship with money is totally different from what you'd expect. He doesn't see money as something to spend on fancy stuff. He sees it as a tool. His famous quote explains it perfectly. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. He thinks about money in terms of future value, not immediate pleasure. When most people get money, they think about what they can buy right now. Buffett thinks about what that money could become if he invests it wisely. That $100 dinner today could be worth $1,000 in 10 years if invested properly. He also believes that happiness doesn't come from buying expensive things. He said many times that he's genuinely happy with his simple lifestyle. He doesn't need a private jet to be content. This mindset has been with him since childhood. Even when he was young and making small amounts of money, he was thinking about saving and investing rather than spending. Now here come the really wild facts about Warren Buffett that will blow your mind. First, he still uses a flip phone sometimes. Yes, a flip phone. The man who owns parts of Apple and other tech companies was using a basic flip phone until just a few years ago. He finally got a smartphone, but he mainly uses it to play games and look at stock prices. Second, he's never sent an email. Can you believe that? In 2022, one of the richest people in the world had never sent an email. He finally learned how to do it, but he was perfectly happy having his assistants handle all his electronic communication for decades. Here's another crazy one. He's worn the same style of suit for years and years. He doesn't follow fashion trends. He found a style that works and stuck with it. His reasoning? Why waste time thinking about clothes when he could be thinking about investments? He also doesn't carry cash, like ever. He relies on other people to pay when they go out because he literally doesn't have money in his pockets. There are stories of him going to dinner with friends and having to ask them to pay because he forgot to bring his wallet. Warren Buffett has never sold a single share of Berkshire Hathaway stock. Not one. He's been accumulating it for decades, but has never sold any for personal use. That's like never taking money out of your savings account. Ever. He still gets his hair cut at the same barbershop he's been going to for years. No fancy salon, no personal stylist coming to his house. Just a regular barbershop with regular prices. Here's a weird one. He practices the ukulele. Yes, Warren Buffett plays the ukulele. He's actually performed at Berkshire Hathaway annual meetings. Imagine being one of the richest people alive and your hobby is playing ukulele songs for your shareholders. He also loves playing bridge so much that he's said if he couldn't play bridge, he wouldn't want to live to be 100. The guy who built a business empire considers a card game one of life's greatest pleasures. Another strange fact, he's never owned a yacht, despite being able to afford any yacht ever built. When asked why, he said he doesn't see the point. He'd rather invest the money than spend it on something that sits in the water. He still reads physical newspapers every morning, even though he could get all the news instantly on his phone. He likes the ritual of reading actual paper and has kept this habit for over 50 years. Warren Buffett has also never bought a house as an investment property. Despite being a real estate genius through his business investments, he's never personally flipped houses or bought rental properties. His only personal real estate is the house he lives in. So what can we learn from Warren Buffett's incredibly frugal lifestyle? It's not about being cheap, it's about being intentional with money. What do you think? Could you live like Warren Buffett if you had billions of dollars? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed learning about his amazing lifestyle, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.